What is up, America? This is Circus Tunes, and today's video is going to be different. Um, I'm not going to be talking about a cartoon. I'm going to be talking about a issue, situation thing that's been going on for a while, and it's not going to be the kind of talk you're expecting. This is not in support of this. I'm actually talking about my nausea with this with this topic. Um, so we're talking about, or what we're talking about today is COVID-19, and I'm 26 years old. It's not like my opinion is worth a penny about this, but I'm gonna say this anyways. I am so freaking sick of this thing. COVID-19. I'm sick of the talk about it. And what I mean by this is that, yeah, I'm like taking deep breaths because this whole thing is just, it's tiring. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the situation that we've all been in, where your cousin or your brother or your sister or your mom is obsessed with a movie and they will not stop watching it. They won't stop talking about it. That's what this whole COVID thing feels like to me. It feels like a movie you're absolutely sick of, and people talk about it and make all these fan art, like all this fan art for it, and make all this, like, it's just old. It's just so old. And then on top of that, there's like 4,000 sequels to the movie, which doesn't make it any better. That's what COVID-19 is. It's a movie that's talked about way too much and has way too much freaking sequels, and people don't know when to stop and just know when it gets old. But I think the one thing that I got sick of the most with COVID was the constant story changing when it came to the news. And the news constantly changed up the story, and then they would try to portray it or display it as if it was complex. No, you're changing up the story a bunch of times. That's not complex. That's just you changing up what you're saying about it. And the whole issue is not complex. It's not. You get sick, you get a fever, you possibly throw up, you have difficulty breathing. That's not that complex. Quit adding stories to it. And that was the part that got me really, really sick of it. And then after so long, now, you know what else the whole situation's like, or the whole COVID issue's like? It's also kind of like, that South Park episode, Butt Out, where these really, really lame smoker or anti-smokers come in and try to preach to the kids how smoking is not cool. that's that's exactly what this COVID thing is like. And anyone that talks about how we're living in those kind of times, and we're living in the tough times, that's what they sound like when they say that. When people say we're living in those kind of times, anytime when someone says that, I immediately, they come off like that to me. They come off as those really, really cringy, lame anti-smoker people. And I'm not lying. When people talk about that, about how we're in those kind of times, it makes me want to go catch COVID. It makes me want to smoke. It makes me want to go do exactly the opposite, like exactly what they're telling me not to go catch or telling me not to go do. It makes me want to go do it. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. We are all sick of it. I think a lot of us are sick of it. I don't know how people keep bringing this up as if it's something new. I don't know how people can keep making. I don't know how the news can keep making up stories about it. I don't understand. I mean, we have the Nile West virus, and then we have AIDS, and we have, like, we have swine flu. We have that gastro fever from the 1800s. I mean, we have so much. We have so much viruses. I don't understand. I don't get it. So it's that sigh, a big sigh, a big exhausted sigh is all I really had to say for this. But I said everything I had to say anyways. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. This isn't the typical video, so I'm not going to have my typical outro. We're sick of talking about it. That's what I'm going to end this with.